Over 2 million car owners waste thousands on repairs that WD-40 could fix for under $10. But here's the kicker. Mechanics know these tricks and use them daily while charging you premium prices for professional services. Trick number 15, revive dead spark plugs. You twist the key and all you get is a click. Maybe a weak cough from the engine. No roar, no spark, just silence. Before you panic and call a tow truck for $150, here's the truth. It's probably not your battery. 9 times out of 10, moisture has crept into your spark plug wells, killing your ignition. Most people have no idea this even happens. Water sits invisibly in those deep wells around each spark plug, creating a bridge for electricity to escape before it ever reaches the plug tip. Your engine cranks but won't fire because the spark is grounding out in pooled water instead of igniting fuel. Rain, humidity, or even a quick engine wash can leave trapped water short-circuiting your spark. The fix? Pop the hood, grab your WD-40, and spray directly into the plug wells and over the ignition coils. The formula drives out every drop of moisture, coats the metal, and restores clean conductivity. Wait 1 minute, then turn the key again. Your engine will roar back to life like it never failed you. If you live in a humid or coastal area, make this a monthly habit. A quick spray keeps your ignition dry, prevents misfires, and saves you from an expensive tow bill. Coastal drivers especially need to watch for this because salt air accelerates moisture buildup in every crevice under your hood. Here's the kicker. Mechanics charge $80 to diagnose ignition issues when all your car needed was 30 seconds of moisture displacement. What they don't tell you, this same problem causes 40% of mysterious no-start situations that lead to unnecessary tow trucks and shop visits. What they don't tell you, this same problem causes 40% of mysterious no-start situations that lead to unnecessary tow trucks and shop visits. Trick number 14, stop battery corrosion before it kills your start. Battery corrosion is one of those slow killers you never notice until it's too late. It starts as a faint greenish crust on the terminals, then slowly spreads, eating away at your connections and strangling the flow of electricity. One morning, you turn the key and nothing happens. Most people immediately assume they need a new $150 battery. Wrong. Spray WD-40 directly on the corroded terminals and watch it start to bubble and loosen the grime. Wipe it off with a clean cloth, then give the terminals another light coat. Use an old toothbrush if the corrosion is really caked on. The WD-40 makes it soft enough to scrub away without harsh chemicals or wire brushes that can damage the terminal posts. The formula not only dissolves existing corrosion, but also creates a thin protective barrier that keeps moisture and acid vapors out for months. Your battery breathes easier, your starts get stronger, and your cables stay cleaner without constant maintenance. It's the quiet fix every mechanic uses before they hand back your car saying everything's fine now and charge you $50 for the privilege. You'd be shocked how many dead batteries are just corroded terminals that needed 2 minutes of WD-40. Mechanics see this literally every single day, but still charge battery service fees because most drivers don't know the difference between a dead battery and a dirty connection. Trick number 13, free stuck bolts without heat or breaking them. You've got a bolt that refuses to move. You twist harder and all you hear is the wrench groaning back at you. Rust has fused it solid. Most people reach for a torch or just crank harder, but that's where damage begins. Stripped bolt heads, snapped threads, and cracked parts that turn a simple job into an expensive nightmare. Instead, grab your WD-40, spray it directly onto the rusted threads and let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes. The formula seeps deep into microscopic gaps, breaking the corrosion bond at a molecular level. When you return, that bolt will turn like it was never seized at all. No flames, no snapped bolts, no stripped heads, just smooth movement. The penetrating oil actually creeps into spaces smaller than water molecules can fit, which is why it works where brute force fails every single time. This trick works wonders on exhaust bolts, battery clamps, or suspension nuts that haven't budged in years. Mechanics often pretend it's skill and experience, but it's really just chemistry doing the heavy lifting. Here's what they don't tell you. That seized bolt they charged you $200 to remove. They probably just soaked it in WD-40 while you waited in the lobby. Mechanics see this work every single day, but still charge penetrating oil service fees that cost 20 times what the product actually costs. Mechanics see this work every single day, but still charge penetrating oil service fees that cost 20 times what the product costs. Trick number 12, silence squeaky belts instantly. You're idling at a stoplight when a high-pitched squeal starts echoing from under the hood. Heads turn. You wish you could sink into your seat. Zresztą daj nam odinaj, It's a key saved rate. It happens when dust, grime, or humidity causes the belt to slip over the pulleys, creating one of the most embarrassing car sounds out there. What most drivers don't realize is that belt noise often has nothing to do with age. A belt can look perfectly fine and still scream because of microscopic buildup on the pulleys. Even a thin film of oil mist or road dust changes how the belt grips. That's why replacing the belt sometimes fixes nothing. The contamination is still there. Cleaning the contact surfaces first tells you the truth before you spend real money. Before spending $150 to $300 on a new belt installation, reach for your WD-40. With the engine off, give the belt and pulleys a light, even mist. When you start the car again, the screech disappears like magic. WD-40 breaks down residue and restores smooth traction, letting the belt glide in silence. It's not a permanent fix, but it's the fastest way to confirm whether the problem is tension, alignment, or just dirt. And the best part, it saves you a trip to the shop just to stop a scream. If the squeal comes back after a few days, then you actually need a new belt. But you just eliminated the $80 diagnostic fee by testing it yourself first. Trick number 11, restore cloudy headlights in 30 seconds. Headlights turning yellow and cloudy isn't just an eyesore, it's a safety hazard. That haze scatters your light beam, cutting visibility by nearly half and making night drives feel like peering through fog. That cloudiness isn't just sitting on the surface. Years of UV exposure slowly break down the plastic, creating thousands of microscopic pits that scatter light in every direction. That's why your headlights can look bright from the outside but barely light the road ahead. The beam loses focus before it ever leaves the lens, which is why night driving feels exhausting and unsafe even with your brights on. Restoration kits at auto parts stores run $20 to $40 and require sanding, buffing, and UV protectant. But here's the secret mechanics use for quick fixes. Grab your WD-40 and spray a generous coat over the headlight lens. Wipe it in circular motions with a clean microfiber cloth. Instantly, the fog lifts and the surface regains that clear, glassy shine. The formula fills microscopic cracks and repels moisture, creating a smooth, reflective layer that improves light output immediately. It's not a permanent fix. It'll last a few weeks to a month, but it's perfect before a night drive, inspection, or when you're trying to sell your car. You'd be shocked how many detailers use this as their secret weapon before handing over cars. That professionally restored look that buyers pay extra for. 30 seconds of WD-40. If these tricks are already saving you money, hit that subscribe button right now. We've got 10 more secrets coming that mechanics definitely don't want getting out. Trick number 10. Unstick frozen car locks and doors in winter. You step out on a frosty morning, coffee in hand, only to find your car door won't budge. You pull harder, nothing. The locks are frozen solid, trapping you outside while the engine sits cold inside. What's actually happening is moisture has crept into the lock cylinder and door seals overnight. When temperatures drop, that moisture expands as it freezes, locking the internal pins in place and gluing the rubber seals to the door frame. Pulling harder doesn't help. It just risks snapping a key, tearing a seal, or bending the door handle, turning a simple freeze into a real repair bill. Here's where WD-40 becomes your winter lifesaver. Spray it directly into the keyhole and around the door seals, then wait a few seconds. The formula drives out moisture and lowers the freezing point inside the mechanism, melting away trapped ice almost instantly. Gently try the handle again. It'll pop open like magic. Even better, a light pre-winter coating on your locks and door seals keeps them from freezing in the first place. Mechanics do this before returning cars from cold storage, charging customers winterization fees for what amounts to 60 seconds of spraying. That $40 winter prep service at the dealership, you just learned how to do it yourself for pennies. Trick number 9, bring back wiper efficiency without replacing blades. Rain's pouring. You flick on your wipers, and instead of a clean sweep, you get streaks, smears, and that awful chattering across the glass. It's not just annoying, it's dangerous. Wiper blades lose their grip over time as dust, oil, and road film build up, turning smooth rubber into sticky, ineffective grit. Before you rush to replace them for $30 to $50, reach for your WD-40. Spray a small amount on a microfiber cloth and wipe along the length of each blade. Then clean the windshield as well. The formula dissolves residue, restores flexibility, and lets the blades glide effortlessly again. You'll notice the difference immediately. Crisp, silent wipes and crystal clear visibility, even in heavy rain. Here's the kicker. That's the same quick trick detailers use before handing back a new-looking car. They're not installing fresh blades every time, they're just cleaning the ones you already have. If your blades are actually torn or cracked, replace them. But if they're just dirty and streaky, WD-40 saves you $40 every single time. Trick number 8, eliminate dashboard creaks and interior squeaks. You're cruising down the road and suddenly that faint rattle from the dashboard starts again. Soft, persistent, and absolutely maddening. It's not a major issue, but it feels like your car is mocking you every mile. The culprit, dry plastic joints rubbing together as the cabin flexes over bumps. Temperature changes make this problem worse than most people realize. Plastics expand when it's hot and shrink when it's cold, which constantly changes how panels press against each other. That's why the noise seems to disappear one day and come roaring back the next. Nothing is loose or broken, the materials are just dry and fighting each other as the car moves. Here's how to silence them like a pro. Spray a bit of WD-40 on a clean microfiber cloth, never directly on the dash, and wipe along the seams, vents, and plastic meeting points. The formula lubricates those contact edges, reducing friction and conditioning the material at the same time. Within seconds, the squeaks disappear, leaving your interior calm and quiet. As a bonus, it restores a subtle sheen to plastic trims without leaving a greasy residue. Mechanics and detailers do this before delivery to make used cars feel premium. That like-new interior silence you experience on dealer test drives. It's not magic, it's WD-40 applied strategically to every squeaky joint. Ever twisted your fuel cap and felt it fight back like it's welded shut? That's not stubbornness, it's corrosion at work. Constant exposure to fuel vapors, moisture, and road grime causes the metal threads and rubber seals to seize up over time. Force it, and you'll crack the cap or tear the seal, creating a $50 problem from a $0 issue. Once that seal is damaged, it's not just about replacing the cap. A bad seal can trigger check engine lights, throw off fuel system pressure, and even cause fuel smells around the car. That's when a simple stuck cap turns into a diagnostic headache that shops love charging for, all because the threads were dry and corroded instead of lubricated. Here's the quick fix. Grab your WD-40 and give the cap's edges and threads a firm spray. Let it sit for a few minutes to work its way in, then twist gently. You'll feel it break free smoothly without tearing the seal or cracking the cap. Wipe off the excess and apply another light coat to keep it from rusting again. The WD-40 not only loosens existing corrosion, but also lubricates the threads, preventing future sticking. This is the same simple step mechanics use before telling you your cap was fine all along, after you've been waiting 10 minutes. Trick number 6, protect electrical connections from corrosion. Moisture and electricity don't mix. When they meet under your hood, it's a recipe for disaster. Even a tiny layer of corrosion or trapped water can create high resistance, causing sensors to misread data or the ECU to throw error codes randomly. You might see dashboard lights flicker, engine hesitation, or misfires that come and go with no obvious cause. Shops love these intermittent issues because they can charge diagnostic fees repeatedly when the fix is literally a few seconds of cleaning and protecting metal contacts. Corrosion on your wiring connectors, sensors, or fuse terminals can cause random warning lights, misfires, rough idling, or even total engine shutdowns. Mechanics love these mystery problems because they can charge $100 plus just for diagnostics. But here's the move mechanics quietly swear by. Before the rainy season hits, disconnect each electrical plug and give it a light mist of WD-40. The formula drives out trapped moisture and coats the metal pins with a thin protective film that blocks humidity and salt corrosion. Reconnect everything and wipe off the excess. Those fragile electrical joints will now resist oxidation and stay clean far longer. It's preventive magic, one quick step that keeps your car's entire electrical system breathing easy, rain or shine. You'd be shocked how many electrical gremlins disappear when connectors are simply cleaned and protected with WD-40. What shops won't mention, they make more money chasing mystery electrical issues for hours at $120 per hour than they would just telling you to spray your connectors. Trick number 5, remove sticker residue without damaging paint. You finally peel off that old bumper sticker or inspection tag only to find a sticky mess left behind. Grey, tacky, and impossible to remove without making it worse. Scraping only spreads the goo everywhere and risks scratching your paint or glass. Professional adhesive removers cost $10 to $15 a bottle. Or you can use what's already in your garage. Grab your WD-40 and spray directly on the residue. Let it sit for about 30 seconds to break down the adhesive bonds, then wipe it away with a microfiber cloth. Watch it slide right off without effort. The formula dissolves even aged glue without damaging paint, glass, or clear coat. Use it on windows, badges, registration stickers, or even stubborn tape marks. It works like a charm on all of them. Mechanics use this before handing over cars after service, leaving them spotless. That detail cleaning line item on your invoice, partly WD-40, removing stickers and residue in 30 seconds flat. Drop a comment below telling me which WD-40 trick you're trying first, and I want to see how many of you have been overpaying for simple fixes. Trick number 4, clean and protect engine bays like a pro. Pop the hood and years of grime, grease, and road dust stare back at you. It's one of the dirtiest parts of any car, and most people are afraid to touch it. But here's the secret to a clean, showroom-worthy engine bay without paying $100 plus for professional detailing. After wiping down the surfaces with a damp cloth, lightly mist WD-40 over plastic covers, hoses, and metal parts. Wipe off the excess and step back. Instantly, everything looks refreshed, darker, shinier, and cleaner. But it's not just about looks. WD-40 forms a thin protective film that repels moisture and prevents corrosion, keeping your engine bay cleaner longer and protecting vulnerable components from rust. It's the final touch detailers rely on before a sale or show, and it takes less than 5 minutes to pull off that professional finish yourself. That $150 engine bay detail at the car wash, you just learned how to do 80% of it with a $6 can. Trick number 3, prevent tools from rusting in damp garages. Your tools tell your story. Every wrench and socket holds years of use. But rust doesn't care about sentimental value. Leave your tool set in a damp garage overnight, and by morning, that orange film begins creeping across the steel. Once it starts, it spreads fast, hitting the metal and making precision work impossible. Here's how to stop it cold. Spray a thin coat of WD-40 on all metal tools before storing them. Wipe away the excess with a rag, leaving just a slight sheen. The formula creates a protective barrier that locks out air and moisture, preventing oxidation completely. Next time you grab your wrench, it'll be as smooth and rust-free as the day you bought it. Mechanics do this religiously at the end of every shift, and it's the reason their 20-year-old tools still look brand new, while yours are covered in rust after 2 winters. Here's the kicker. A $40 wrench set protected with $6 of WD-40 lasts longer than a $200 set that's left unprotected. Smart maintenance beats expensive tools every time. Trick number 2, stop door hinge squeaks permanently. That slow, painful squeak when you open your door isn't just annoying, it's the sound of metal grinding against metal, slowly wearing away. Every time you hear that creak, microscopic amounts of metal are being scraped off. Over years, this causes sloppy hinges, misaligned doors, and eventually, expensive hinge replacements. Instead of ignoring it or reaching for heavy grease that attracts dirt, here's what to do. Aim your WD-40 straw nozzle right at the hinge joints and give each one a short spray. Move the door back and forth a few times to let the lubricant work into the mechanism. Instantly, the noise disappears, replaced by smooth, silent motion. WD-40 reduces friction and leaves behind a clean film that shields against moisture and rust without the sticky mess of traditional grease. It's the difference between a car that sounds neglected and one that whispers quality every time the door opens. And it takes literally 15 seconds per door. Trick number 1, restore chrome shine and stop rust dead. Chrome is supposed to sparkle, but after months of rain, road salt, and dust, it turns dull and lifeless. Don't panic, and definitely don't reach for harsh abrasives that scratch permanently. Grab your WD-40, spray it generously over chrome bumpers, exhaust tips, trim pieces, door handles. Let it sit a few seconds, then wipe with a soft microfiber cloth. Instantly, that faded metal comes back to life. Smooth, mirror bright and protected, the WD-40 dissolves oxidation, lifts embedded grime, and leaves behind protective coating that shields against future rust. Here's what they don't tell you. That $80 chrome restoration service at detail shops. Same $6 can of WD-40 you have in your garage. One spray, one wipe, done. Now you know that blue can of WD-40 isn't just a lubricant, it's a mechanic in a can, solving problems that shops charge hundreds to fix. If you learned something new today, smash that like button. It really helps the channel grow and lets us keep exposing these money-saving secrets. Don't forget to subscribe for more simple, shop-proven fixes that keep your ride in top shape without emptying your wallet. And before you go, check out our next video on hidden car features you'll regret not knowing sooner. Until next time, drive safe and keep that WD-40 handy.